16 softs and mediums. This is a 10-lap race. I think we'll give this race a shot, because I've done Barcelona more times than I can count. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man Lincoln Clay, and we are wrapping up launch weekend with the final stream of the weekend of GT7 on PSVR 2. This time I think we'll try a little bit of a different daily race. We will check out the Group 2 race here at Lake Major, I believe that's how you say it, the Lake Major Circuit. All right. Balance of power. Let's put the soft tires on here so we get the fastest time possible. Is holy moly, T-Mission is fast. He had a 146, and Boris is fast too, and he's got a 149. Wow, that's saying something. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn on the All right, folks, give me a second. I got to go turn on my base shakers. I got to go to my computer and turn those on. Wow, a whole 1 second penalty. Oh shit. I'm not terribly familiar with this track, so oh, 1.5 second penalty. Not even close.
Hello, handsome.
Hello? Yeah.
You gave me a chick's voice.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh. Find my gloves here. So, look at those times. Excuse me. So I think once today's probably the last day of this track being the Group 2 daily race, so there'll probably be a new track tomorrow, so I'm not going to get a chance to sink some time into this track to learn it. So I'll just get in there, get what I can.
Good luck.
Thank you. 2.5 second penalty. Damn it! God. I forgot there was a mandatory pit stop. Shit! I know better next time.
The jump from PSVR 1 to 2 is insane.
Yeah, yes it is.
door, front door, who cares? It looks amazing.
Yeah. Starting to get dark. I see my lights on. What the fuck is those balloons? All right. We took ninth. I gotta clean off my glasses and we'll do another race. Hey, a 4-star ticket.
Damn.
So does my 141 still stand? Yep, they're gonna let my 141 still stand. All right, folks, I gotta clean off the glasses here for a second.
Not gonna lie, this game is beautiful.
Not gonna lie, Hope. This game is beautiful, huh? Now, as far as all the talk, you know, as far as all the talk goes about this game looking blurry,
GT has always been good looking, also best driving on gamepad.
yeah, but once you get a taste of this in VR, you're going to get ready to go down that rabbit hole. You're going to want a racing wheel, a chair, all that shit. And I have a saying when it comes to sim racing, that the more potential you think you have, the more money you think you need to spend on better equipment.
Saying about blurriness. G29 is a great starting point, but they are lacking a handbrake.
Yeah. Now, what I was going to say about the blurriness is, I'm not going to lie. Out of all the launch games that I played for PSVR 2, this one probably has the most blur. And it's such a contrast because inside the car, everything is clear and sharp, but everything in the distance, oh my god. And I hate it when that happens for no reason either, when the pass-through gets triggered for no reason. But as I was saying, it's such a contrast. Everything inside the car is sharp. Everything in the distance is either blurry or has soft edges. Whatever you see in the distance, you're not going to get that to come through razor sharp. Not, you know, and I'm not trying to talk shit, but not unless you got a high-powered $4,000 PC, like the one I got, along with a high-resolution headset, like I got also with the HP Reverb G2. But I will say that when you first put the headset on, in that initial blur you see, that is not representative of what you are going to see. You have to play with the headset. You have to move the headset around, and you have to play with the IPD adjustment.
The blur here in 2D mode.
No, I mean now I got it good. I got it to where I want.
Is eye tracking enabled?
Yes, eye tracking is enabled. Because if you notice, if you look at the HUD over to my right, it's going to look pixely because I'm not looking at it. When I look at it, it will come into focus and become clear.
Okay. That tech is effing crazy.
So, telling it like it is. For as amazing as this headset is, and the tech involved in this headset, it simply does not. This console simply does not have enough horsepower to make everything in the far distance come through clear. It's a VR thing. This is not a PSVR 2 thing. It's a VR.
Turn it off for comparison.
So it's a VR thing. It's not a PSVR 2 thing. You know, I've been doing VR since 2016, and I've been sim racing in VR for about 3-4 years. So I'm used to dealing with seeing the background being blurry. So what I'm seeing through PSVR 2, as far as the distance either being soft or a little bit blurry, it's nothing new to me. All I care about is that things come.
Drive Club, already a win.
Oh yeah, no doubt. What I need from the game is giving me what I need, and that is for everything to come into view before I get there. With Drive Club and VR, that shit was so damn blurry that you couldn't see the turns until it was right there. This, I can see everything. I can see when the turn is coming, so I can
This
judge.
game runs so smooth too.
It does. I can judge. Where's my time? Okay,
It's
so my
blurry because you have to press up, arrow, down, arrow, left, arrow, right, left, arrow, right, arrow, roll the windows down and the blur will go away.
that almost sounds like
Trust me.
that.
Drive Club looked like a potato sack over your head. It wasn't designed for VR. Drive Club.
No. So as far as this headset goes, there is nothing wrong with this headset. I'm simply saying that the PS5 does not have enough power to make stuff in the far distance come through clear. It's just like I said, it's a VR thing. It's just the way it is. You know, I've dealt with this kind of stuff for years. My main PC, which has a 4090 in it and an HP Reverb G2, that one makes everything come through clear. Even the stuff in the background. It's, you know, and we're talking about a $4,000 computer versus a $500 console. So what you're getting with this PS5 and PSVR 2 is amazing for what you're paying for it.
It's the best ever, and I'm a die-hard GT fan.
I think GT7
Drive Club is one of my favorite game of all time.
I think as far as flat screen goes, you can make the argument that GT7 is the best looking game I've ever seen. When it comes to VR, Automobilista 2 is the best looking game I've ever seen.
My driving avatar have a BBC.
I don't know.
Joshing.
Yeah, I know.
Rowan getting ready to move to Florida. Can't wait.
Oh, wow. Good luck.
The number of online players compared to other racing sims. Is the dash display clear?
Oh yeah, everything inside the car is clear. It's the stuff in the distance that, you know, come into question.
turn was dope while looking out the left window.
Yeah, I noticed that that car was behind me. That's the advantage of
Most sims have 40 players.
Yeah, this has only got 16, but again, that speaks.
GT7 has 20.
This got 16. It started out with 20, but I think they had to lower it to 16 so they could say free up some resources for the VR. Because VR is demanding. That's something that people don't realize.
Can dig the 16 players. Go.
Sorry, caught up in a battle.
Other VR racing games find 16 players to race with?
Once.
I get it, but I would only use it for 2 games, GT7 and 1.
Shit!
Too much for just 2 games. I already have a wheel and the wheel stand a wheel.
Ah,
Gotta realize GT7 on PS5 is curated experience. Flexibility is for PC. I can use controller as well though.
I've been doing sim racing long enough that I'm always going to use a wheel. I don't have anything against anybody that uses a controller, but I know I won't be doing it. I've been doing it so long I just couldn't go back to it.
This game is so good in VRR. VR.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't blame you. The sound is underrated.
I think it sounds wonderful. I gotta do this race one more time. That sucked. I paid the price for that going off the track.
The G29 for $250 is a better deal than a $200 Edge controller emo. If you wanna race, get a wheel and never look back.
Absolutely. 100%. And besides, especially when it comes to racing in VR, getting a wheel is just, it pretty much doesn't get any more immersive than that. unless you go all the way in and get a motion rig and all that stuff.
Dear Santa, I don't see myself going back to play GT7 on flat TV.
Absolutely. For some people, this is a novelty. This is niche. Racing in VR. For me, it is a
What do you think the next step in VR is? Matrix?
There's so much stuff that you guys are unaware of that's going on in VR. You know what? This is how I'm going to describe VR on PSVR 2. When PSVR 1 was out, people was making all kinds of excuses why they would never do it.
Nobody uses the fan tech. Lol, I used to turn a fan on to feel like I'm really in a car speeding, grinning face with smiling eyes.
Oh, I gotta have a fan on because it gets hot. But PSVR 1, people made excuses. Graphics not good enough. Complaining about the cord. I'll do it when it's wireless. All kinds of shit. They made all kinds of excuses for it.
Lol, corny for the car.
So now you have PSVR 2. And what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the games that people rejected 4 or 5 years ago because the graphics wasn't good enough, because of this, because of that, they're coming to PSVR 2 now. And now everybody all of a sudden loves it. So the way I see it is, you're a person that eats at at McDonald's, and all you will eat is McDonald's food. What PSVR 2 is basically they put a Burger King Whopper and wrapped it up in a McDonald's wrapper and put it in a McDonald's bag, and people opened the bag and saw that McDonald's wrapper. Oh my God, this is so delicious. But they don't realize it's the same shit that we've been playing for years. But for some funny reason, now it's all the hottest thing since Sunburn. So all these people that's like jumping on the bandwagon and acting like they VR experts all of a sudden, that shit kills me. I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing VR since 2016. And I've been sim racing in VR for at least 3 years. So when I hear all these, overnight VR experts and shit like that, it just absolutely kills me. So, so that brings me to the future of VR that people don't know about. And it's not so much a future, it's what's in the works right now. Like, for instance, they've got
things since Sunburn.
Yeah. So, you've got companies working on haptic gloves that have motors in the fingers and in the palms and on the knuckles and stuff like that. So if you're playing a game in VR or something and you get whacked on the hand with a stick or something like that, you'll feel it through the haptic gloves. So there's so much shit. There's like a VR treadmill. So, like, for instance, if you play a first-person shooter game, this treadmill that you run on, if you want to act like you're running in real life, this treadmill, you hook a belt around your waist, and then there's basically a cable that goes from the belt to a hook at the top of the treadmill, and you run in place on this treadmill, and then people will see you running in the game. If it's a game that requires you to move, so you don't have to use the thumbstick to move around. You can mimic real life movement. This is all.
I've been in VR since Gear VR.
Mm-hmm. This is all shit that people don't know about because they too caught up in the mainstream and too caught up in the console war and too caught up about Xbox and shit like that. So, there's some people that, in my opinion, is really fake about this VR shit. They just using it for console war ammo. Ha, Xbox don't have, VR, that kind of shit. And some of these people are acting like VR is blowing their mind, but I promise you, a month from now, some of these people, you won't see them playing this. So I don't know. I guess to me, I guess this is just.
Cat VR is working on their Nexus to work with PSVR 2. I'm hoping for the best. I want it for Pavlov so bad.
Pavlov is off to a smashing start. Pavlov, in my opinion, is a huge success already on PSVR 2. When I listen to those people over there talk about that game, they love it so much and all the cool things that you can do. And I'm sitting there with a smile on my face because I'm like, I've been playing this game for 3 years. But at the end of the day, I would rather listen to people, even if they're jumping on the bandwagon, I would still rather listen to people who are overjoyed over VR instead of people who are using the console war to try to tear PSVR 2 down. Because PSVR 2 is the gateway for premium VR to come back to PC VR, because once developers started moving towards the Oculus Quest, we started getting a lot of bullshit VR games. A lot of VR games that had Minecraft and Lego type graphics, because that's where the money was at. And as far as PC VR goes, the only thing that was keeping everything alive were the mods, where a game would come out, Elden Ring, and somebody makes a VR mod for Elden Ring, somebody makes a VR mod for Cyberpunk, that kind of shit. That was the thing that was keeping PC VR alive. But now that PSVR 2 is here, it's going to give developers another revenue stream. So now they can go ahead and develop for both PSVR 2 and PC and just port them one to the other, and and they'll still be able to make money. So as far as PSVR 2 goes, I could easily tell you that I'm not really impressed with the tech because I either know about it or experienced it already. I'm excited for the future of VR, that we're going to start getting great games in VR, third-party and first-party games. The
mods run so poorly on my 3080, and yet a PC VR hasn't had a non-indie game in years.
So yeah, like I don't have a problem running the mods. I'm not trying to talk that shit, but again, I got a 4090, so that runs just about everything. I'm not going to bother qualifying for this race, because the 141 that I set, I can't seem to get any faster than that, so I'm just going to let that stand. I also forgot that probably after this race, I'm probably going to need to take this car to the shop and get the oil changed and probably have to get the engine tuned, because with this game, as you put miles on your car, it'll start to wear the engine out. So after so many miles, you'll eventually have to get your motor replaced. Alright, how much time we got before the race starts? Yeah, 15 seconds. I could probably do a little bit faster with the Porsche, but I really love this Ford GT. Um, in the history behind this car. So it looks like my 141 qualifies me 8th, but the guy with the fastest lap is only a half a second faster than me, so I got just as much chance as anybody to win this race.
Overheated PS5.
No, my PS5s, both of them are fine. Yeah, I got two PS5s. One of them I bought about 2-3 weeks ago. They're just fine.
Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. And let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So has GT7 won you over?
I didn't have to be won over with this game. I've loved the GT franchise for quite a while. It was just the microtransactions with this that didn't set in well with me.
Just checked out your channel. Your uncle is Mayweather Senior. Nice man.
Yeah, Floyd.
Into sim racing. I bought a new wheel and my wheel is B.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather Senior is my uncle. So Floyd Jr. is my first cousin.
To get back into racing, man.
There you go.
This looks fire.
Absolutely. Oh no! I overshot the corner!
Is dangerous.
Oh shit! I was too busy watching that car. This race is over. And I got a 1.5 second penalty. This race is over.
You with the sub. In the YouTuber also do content as well. You seem awesome. I have a Seto Corsa and Axe. I like sim racing. Just need to get. Ha 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 h ha 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 down. Ha 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 down ha down ha ha.
What the?
Ha ha down hey ha ha.
What the hell? Yeah, Assetto Corsa Competizione is my favorite racing sim, and I stream that over on Twitch. So follow me on Twitch, Lincoln_Clay. So yeah, Lincoln_Clay. You can follow me on Twitch for Low Fuel Motorsports daily races over there. So yeah, going forward.
Finish strong. You can get improve your DR and SR if you finish.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what my schedule is going to consist of. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll do GT7 streams. Tuesday and Thursday, I'll do Assetto Corsa Competizione streams over on Twitch. And then the week is just kind of wide open, you know. As far as streaming like Pavlov and Call It a Mountain and stuff like that. So I'll put something in the community post and keep you guys up to speed. What the hell was that snap? Something happened with the bumper.
Are they bringing Axe to PSVR 2?
Are they what?
Axe is popping on PC, not console. Assetto Corsa Competizione in VR would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll do that in VR.
It would make sense for Axe to be on PSVR 2, but they don't want to compete with GT7 on console. It's not fair player.
No. The developer of Assetto Corsa Competizione, he answered my question directly. I asked him if Assetto Corsa Competizione would get VR support on PS5, and his exact answer was, too many resources, the console's not strong enough. And I believe him, because the game is very demanding on PC. Like if you got some shit like a 1660 and you try to run ACC in VR, it's not going to turn out very good. That is why I built a $4,000 PC.
They can't optimize their game.
Well, according to them, the Unreal Engine lacked a lot of features, and they said it's not very good for VR optimization. So all I can do is take them at their word.
That's fucked up. Call of the Mountain is U4.
Oh, shit.
The engine is very capable, and also console just went through a rework. It's way better now.
Well, they're pretty much done with Assetto Corsa Competizione anyway, because right now...
What's wrong with PC VR sims? Games are so badly optimized that you need to pay $4,000 to play them.
No, that's not the case with all VR sims. That's an isolated situation with Assetto Corsa Competizione, because Automobile Lister 2 runs great. It looks great. It can run on just about any computer. Project Cars 2 is another game where you don't really need a super high-end PC for it to run and look good in VR. But a set of Corsa Competizione, yeah, that's a totally different story. The better you want that game to look, the more powerful your PC has to be.
Project Cars 2 does not look any good in VR.
I think it does. When it comes to VR, when it comes to sim racing games in VR, in my opinion, Automobilista 2 is undoubtedly the best looking sim racing game in VR. Second, as far as the second best looking game in VR, I have not tried Project Cars 3.
To team, some games are just better, so the graphics will get better for PSVR 2 too. Assetto Comp is very demanding due to the tire model graphics and many more.
Yeah, CPU is CPU heavy. But yeah, $4,000 later, I finally got the game to look the way I wanted to look in VR. But that was never the case with Automobilista 2. It looks great. I think Project Cars 2 looks pretty good. I mean, especially for its age. The game is old, and it shows its age a little bit, but it still looks good in VR. I'd imagine Project Cars 3 probably looks good in VR, but I never bothered to try that because they got away from their roots and tried to go the mainstream route.
It's not a good-looking game in general. It's a very old game.
Some games age well. I mean, look at GT Sport. It's still a good-looking game. I think, I guess that's all in the eye of the beholder. I personally think that Project Cars 2 still looks good for its age. Of course, I don't think it's the best looking game, but I think it's the best. I think it still looks good for its age. So hold on a second, folks.
What racing wheel under $300 would you recommend? Project Cars 2 looks amazing in flat screen. In VR, not so much.
I disagree.
No offense, I think you're running a bad build or something, man. Assetto Corsa looks amazing and runs well.
No, I'm running a good build. My PC has an RTX 4090 with an i9 12900K, and I'm using an HP Reverb G2. Assetto Corsa Competizione looks.
Hoping that Forza Motorsport has PC VR support.
So,
G29. It works with just about every game. Not you talking to Kevin.
No, I think my computer handles Assetto Corsa Competizione just fine. Believe me, years of going through different PCs and seeing that game go from terrible to okay to great. I mean, that's what I experienced as I kept upgrading my PC. I think Assetto Corsa Competizione will look good in VR on a 3080.
He got the best setup money can buy. I just wouldn't play that game in VR.
To make the game look good in VR is why I spent so much money. Because if I was a flat screen racer, there's no way I would have needed a 4090 to do that. I can run the game on a 3070. Hell, Jardier, his computer's a 3070. You know, and his streams look pretty good. So when I was using the 3080 Ti, see, I used the 2 PC setup also. I have 3 PCs. My 4090, I raced from that PC.
Need a full rig to have a great GT7 experience, or just a wheel and pedals?
I think a wheel and pedals to start would be good, but I think as you become more immersed in it and you start to get more passionate about it, you'll probably want to start spending money to try to upgrade, because I said this earlier, I have a saying that the more potential you think you have, the more money you think you need to spend on better equipment.
running triples on a 3060 TVR needs a ton of power. Power takes a lot more cash. Tell them Lincoln laugh out loud lol build is everything. And it also depends on if a game is CPU intensive or RAM intensive. Some games use. When I got my rig and my Finatec V2
what's
wheel with
good?
my load
So,
cell
yeah, all
V3
I've been
pedals I
getting
was
is
blown away worth
just
it. It's
voice
just so pricey to spend all that on only
voice
one
chat. So I
genre.
don't know who's saying what. Um,
Okay. I don't know if I should do one more race before I call it a night or not, because I didn't like the way that race turned out. I was so busy looking at that car on the side that I ran up on the grass and hit the wall, and I think it caused some rear end damage
Is
to
the
the car.
Logitech G923 a good wheel for the price? Wheel and pedals to start is perfect. Rigs are for comfort. I have an expensive rig and it just makes it easier to get into sim racing.
Yeah, I definitely, in addition to an expensive computer, I also have an expensive racing setup. My racing setup,
Yes it is, it's the G29 upgrade.
uh,
Okay, thanks Corey.
yeah, my racing setup, I've spent over $3,000 on my racing setup. My racing rig,
Yes, the G29 is a great value wheel.
my racing cockpit is a GT Omega Prime, which I spent about $1,000 on that. My wheelbase is a Fanatec Podium DD1, which I spent about $1,200 on that. My racing wheel is a McLaren GT3 wheel with the metal quick release, and that was about $300. I have the
I
Fanatec.
started on a G29.
Yeah, I started on the Thrustmaster T150. I still have it.
A rig is mandatory. Period. Load cell is necessary. I had a G29, not comparison.
Oh yeah, and I got load cell pedals. I've got the Fanatec V3 pedals, which are load cell pedals. I've also got a couple other set of pedals too that's basically sitting in the closet. So all three of my PCs, along with my racing cockpit, I've got over $11,000 into all
So
that
the
shit.
G923 is an uproddy to the G29. Shout out to T150 starter kits. Not getting load cell for under $300 with the wheel.
Oh yeah, I started out with the Thrustmaster T150, and I had it, and I got it attached to a small end table or coffee table, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I got it attached to load cell pedals.
No, it's
so
not an upgrade at all, Slane.
So with pedals, you have like standard pedals for sim racing. I think they have what's called I think it's called an electrometer or something like that. And the way it works is,
what's the difference, Mosiak?
The way it works is it measures how far down you press the pedal. So it calculates. Whereas if you press the pedal down halfway, it calculates that this is how far the car should travel before it comes to a stop. With load cell pedals, because it has it almost has like a resistance cushion inside the spring, so the car stops according to how much pressure you put on the pedals, just like a real car.
Pedals are the best upgrade you can buy for sim racing.
Pedals are
so much faster with good pedals.
Pedals are the most important part of sim racing because,
marketing, same wheel, with a few non-factor features.
So with load cell pedals, that's the bottom line. The car stops according.
Good pedals cost.
If you want load cell pedals, I think load cell pedals. I think even the Logitech load cell pedals, I think might start at about $350. I'm not sure. It's something you'd have to look into. But I know that the Fanatec V3 pedals that I have.
For load cell.
I know that the V3 pedals that I have at the time that I bought them was like $370.
I got Fanatec GT2 Plus Club Sport V1. After getting PSVR 2, I ordered CSLDD GT. Not sure if Club Sport V1 will connect to CSLDD out of the box. You right, Clay, 350 N up for load cell.
Uh, as far as if you have a wheelbase that you're not, if it doesn't connect to the PlayStation, um, you can buy a Drivehub adapter and run the wheelbase through that Drivehub adapter, and it'll work because that's what
So
I'm doing.
without load
That's what I'm
cell,
doing right
does it
now.
feel similar to a real car on the pedals?
First of all, um, couple of things about the pedals, like using my pedals for an example, my load cell pedals. First of all, the load cell pedals have motors on them, and those motors are supposed to vibrate whenever the wheels lock up. But the motor is so faint you can barely feel it. I have bass shakers on my rig that shake according to the car's RPMs. Um, they'll shake according to if the wheels slip, and I also have them where they'll shake if I lock up the brakes. So with load cell pedals, the car will stop according to it'll slow down according to how much pressure I'm putting on the pedals. So if I put too much pressure,
Load cell pedals feel more like a real car than basic pedals.
yes. So if I put too much pressure on the pedals, the wheels will lock up, and the bass shakers will register that, and it will shake accordingly, and it'll make a it'll make a feeling, and I know that I have locked up the wheels. If you have pedals that don't have that's not load cell, you really have no way of knowing whether you locked up the pedals or not, whether you locked up the brakes or not. And again, with regular pedals, it's not about how much pressure you put on it. It's about how far down you depress the
Load cell
pedal.
measures
And
force.
it can't
Regular pedals measure travel.
exactly. And that's the bottom line. V3 pedals will stop the car according to how much force you're applying. Regular pedals will stop the car according to how far you press the pedal down. It sounds confusing, but yeah, I mean,
Real pedals and wheels also help you with understeer and oversteer.
that's a
That's lane. You have to realize that you are in a room full of real hardcore sim race drivers. For every man users, you will be fine with just Ragu.
well, understeer and oversteer. That's not a case of a wheel helping you eliminate one of those. You use a wheel, you have to find out what you're comfortable with in terms of the steering ratio. So, like a set of Corsa Competizione, for instance, I think the steering ratio of the steering wheel goes out as wide as like 1,080
Okay, so if the
degrees.
car locks up on normal pedals, you won't feel that force as much as load cell pedals. I mean, you can feel it in course correct easier than a G29.
With regular pedals, even with low cell pedals, you're not really going to feel the brake lock up unless you have like if you got unless you got shit like bass shakers and stuff like that, like I got on the rig. So you have to listen for it, especially with regular pedals. Um, you have to listen for the wheels to lock up because it's the only way you're going to know that the wheels have locked up. And then the thing about it is, a game like Assetto Corsa Competizione, the game is so detailed and pays so much attention to real life situations that if you lock up the wheels, you'll burn a flat spot into the tires, and it affects the way the car handles the rest of the race. It affects your force feedback. It affects your ability to hold the steering wheel still. So pedals are everything. Being able to stop in the shortest amount of distance without locking the tires up is critical.
So for under $300, what would you recommend to me for the best experience?
Under $300, that's hard for me to say because the Thrustmaster T150 is the only wheelbase that I've ever owned for under $300. Um,
I played on a basic setup for all of GT Sport and did just fine. I upgraded my setup for greater immersion and to enjoy the sport. What's up, Lincoln Clay?
what's good? What's good? How's it going, Alfonso?
Man, get a G29, and if you love that, save and get the good shit. I did that for about a year.
Yeah, that's what makes it so tough because a G29 it's a good wheel to start out with, but as I said before, as you get better and as you develop more of a passion for it,
G923 is under 300.00 and is perfect for someone new.
you're going to want over time as you develop a passion for it and you get better at it, you're going to want better equipment. But yeah, the G29 is a good start in my opinion.
So should I go the G923 or the G29? G29 blew me away, bro, seriously.
I guess if you're
looking to go entry level, whichever one of them is cheap. Because like I said, I'm not terribly familiar with the logic. I just know that there's a G29 and I think that G92 or something like that. I think if you want a really good experience,
at the best, budget price.
The latest, but don't get a G29, then upgrade to a G293.
I think the
text him 16 and don't get much money. I just love VR and sim racing. Looks seriously fun for me.
I think
Sorry, Massey, where do you live? I paid $400 for my G923.
I think it might be the G923 True Force wheelbase. I think that's a good wheel to go with, even though I've never owned one, but I've tried the demos that they have set up in Best Buy. And even though that wheelbase is not super strong, it does register all the details. If you have a game that's so detailed that it's got like bumps and potholes and stuff like that in the game, you'll feel all that stuff. All those details are registered. So the True Force, the Logitech True Force steering wheel, I think that would be a good spot, a good start.
I am in USA. I got mine on sale.
Yeah, cool. eBay may be another option too. Because I bought a Fanatec CSL Elite.
Buy it used.
Off of eBay.
True Force mean?
True Force that's the stuff that I was describing. Like back in the days with wheelbases, especially the really cheap ones, all they really did.
Okay, at that Corey Massey, great.
All they really did was you just felt the resistance. You need to feel more than the resistance. You need to be able to feel the texture of the road and that kind of stuff. And so for instance, like if I go wide and I start to go off the road and my tires start to touch the rumble strips on the outside of the road, all those small details from that, all that small rumbling, all that stuff registers into my wheelbase. Whereas if you got a wheelbase that only just does resistance and that's it, you won't feel those. You won't feel those details. So what time is it?
Now I am using a Fanatec DD Pro and V3 load cell pedals and a custom racing rig. I upgraded over time.
Oh, holy shit.
The new G Pro has True Force and it's good.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's almost 12:30. It's time for me to call it a night because I got to be at work at 6. But I will definitely come back. So my schedule, as I was saying, my schedule is going to go as follows. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, GT7.
$999 better be good. What's the difference between the G923 and G29?
I think the 923 is the True Force wheelbase. I think that's the better one. That'll, in addition to the force feedback, it'll feed you all the small details. Oh my God. So yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, GT7, roughly 4 p.m. Eastern, between 4 and 5 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch, a set of course a competizione. So lock it in. My Twitch channel is
The
Lincoln_Clay.
G923 is the upgrade to the G29.
So, so with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and boogie on out of here and call it a night. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Definitely.
One last question: should I get a wheel or PSVR 2 first?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I don't know.
Wheel and pedals.
I think if you really want to get into VR, one is going to make you want to get the other. If you get the wheel and pedals,
That's tough with the controller issue going on.
If you get the wheel and pedals, you're gonna sit there and wonder about what it's like to race in VR. But if you get the headset first and you race in VR, you're gonna say, "Fuck this controller! I got to get a wheel, and I got to get a wheel now." So that's really a tough one.
Wheel and pedals, you can play the base game without VR.
That would be true, but I can almost guarantee you that if he gets the VR first and he tries it, he's going to run out.
VR games also.
If he gets the VR, once he tries GT7 with that controller, he's going to say, "Fuck this controller," and he's going to run out and buy a wheel the next day, even if he don't have the money for it.
Sorry I'm late. Would have enjoyed your stream. I have a cockpit coming on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Keep me posted.
And the G923 or G29 can be used on PC and PS4/5. Oh, mau true.
Oh. Holy smokes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good today. Oh, god damn. Well, yeah, folks, it is time for me to boogie on out of here. Like I said, I got to call it a night. I really appreciate it.
Then PSVR 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Good night, Lincoln. I appreciate the stream.
Hey, I appreciate all of you tuning in. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Look for me to jump on again tomorrow about 5 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll check out and see what the new daily race is, because I think we get new daily races on Monday. And so until then, I will catch you all tomorrow. You all have a good night. And until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. Everybody, have a good night.